5 top abandoned places in America. Detroit. The alabaster gypsum plant. The Great Lakes have always been a vital means of transportation for an area that's rich in natural resources. Alabaster's gypsum plant in the waters of Lake Huron was once a hub for quite a few ships transporting the minerals to places around the world, but these days it's wasting away off the coast of Michigan's shores. Although it's still advised to attempt to get on the factory's little island, many still decide to sneak aboard anyway. Don't worry, the view from farther away will more than suffice. 2. Belle Isle Zoo. Detroit. Even the zoo wasn't spared from the economic depression that hit Detroit. Where lions and other exotic wildlife used to roam is now overgrown with ivy, and the wood from its walking paths are now slowly becoming warped by the elements. While the zoo is no longer in operation, the nature zoo was put on the same island to replace the old zoo. Despite a vote being passed to try to save this zoo, it will probably remain in a state of dilapidation for years to come. 3. Squaw Island Lighthouse. Anyone want to own their own lighthouse on a tiny island? No? Well, if you did, you'd probably have to pay a ton of money just to get it up and running again. It does, however, happen to be up for sale. Resting on a tiny island in one of the northernmost parts of the state, tiny Squaw Island has its own lighthouse, and it's been abandoned for quite some time now. The structure itself is very impressive, and it's hard to imagine why anyone would let it go like this, but it's definitely a little detached from the rest of the world. So, hey, if you've ever wanted to own a lighthouse, this could be your chance. 4. Portage Lake Observatory. Does light pollution have to ruin everything? Well, not really, but it's definitely put this old, impressive observatory out of commission. The lights from nearby Ann Arbor slowly rendered the telescopes useless, at which point the internal refractors and other aspects of the telescopes were moved to locations where they're still in use to this day. Now all that remains of the site are the shells of the domes that used to house the telescopes. 5. Marquette's ore docks. After making the long trips from mining facilities, or made the transition from land to sea from docks like this one. Unfortunately, this dock has ceased to operate for years now, and only gathers rust as time goes by. The photo doesn't give credit to the size of this thing, either. It's much larger than you'd imagine, and it's pretty wild to consider how much ore actually left from these docks to travel the waters to places all around the globe.